What's up, everybody? It's Monday. You got Choppadong and Raz GPT with you here. I'm just that's what I'm calling him forevermore. He's just Raz GPT to me, to you, to everybody in the Army, DFS Army, MLB Live Block Show. We have a decent amount of stuff to cover today, but we're probably not going to take forever doing it. So pile in, tell your buddies, call them, text them, get them in here, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I see the regulars, Cujo and Harlock, and these guys are Long is back. That's awesome. He's becoming a regular and a commenter because we don't bite. So glad to have you guys back on a Monday. We start a new week. Razzle, how'd your weekend go, buddy?
It was good, minus almost getting stuck on the golf course in a tornado.
Oh, that sounds like that might have a story behind it.
I mean, we just didn't expect it to hit. We checked radar while we were out on the course. It looked like everything was going north, so we stopped paying attention. Got up to the 17th green. I looked over my shoulder and I said to the guy, "It looks like we're about to get pissed on." And 15 seconds later, just an absolute downpour. Wind gusts, just massive. Had no idea what the weather was like. He looked at his phone quick and was like, wow, it completely changed and started going straight east. Messaged the lady friend about it, and she said, "Oh yeah, there's a tornado warning outside of this city." And I'm like,
"What good are you, lady friend?"
you realize that I'm golfing just west of that city, right? So they go, "Well, you guys should probably take cover."
Yeah, we're holding metal in our hands.
Yeah, so I mean, the ride back from the 17th green towards the clubhouse was slow, soggy, extremely wet.
At that point, you just play your way in.
We couldn't see.
It's okay.
I would have never been able to find my ball. Like, I don't even think we would have been able to tee off on the 18th. It was a par 5. Like,
into a hurricane.
No teeing the ball up. Like, the wind was just going to take it. I tried to finish out 17. I had a chip to win the hole outright, and the wind just took the ball way past the hole. Like, I hit the chip, and I almost held the golf club up in the air like I was going to make it. And then the wind just took it and rolled it completely off the green. So yeah, it was one of those days. We found a dryer, dried our clothes, went out to eat, and then went to the casino after that. So
cool. That's a good time. But I gotta ask, did you ask for a prorated rain check for that one hole?
No. One of the guys is a member at that private club. So we get to golf for free anyway. So
yeah, I know usually once you make the turn, they don't give rain checks out, but it's always fun to go in there and ask and look at the pro's face. Go, what? I'm supposed to give you like $8? Are you kidding?
I mean, if it was a private or a public course, that would work. But yeah, since it's completely private, there's no need for that. We can go out there whenever we want at this point.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's good access. You're probably playing more golf this year than I have. I've played, I think, twice. So.
That was actually only my second time out this year. I just haven't not gotten out.
We're tied. We'll have to ask everybody else in the chat if they play, how many times they've been out, because it looks like Razzle and I have set the over-under at 2.5. We're both pulling the under, so we'll see what anybody else has to say. I've got a competition coming up here in a couple of weeks that I just got texted by a buddy today that my Jin handicap is the only one of the 24 people that he can't pull, and I'm like, I haven't renewed my fee yet this year. He goes, why not? I said, I played twice. My handicap didn't move, and he's like, I still need it to upload into the app and all that. I'm like, fine, fuck it, I'll do it. It's fine. But at the same time, that's $50 that I'll never see. I won't use this year. I'm like, that's a waste. Better taking everybody out to dinner on $50 than that. But we play a Ryder Cup format. It's kind of fun. So in a couple of weeks on Saturday, we'll be out there. And then after party, like you said, go catch some drinks, hit the casino, all that stuff. We're going to go to somebody's house and probably finish drinking cases of beer in their pool. Good time to wrap up the summer with. How'd your DFS go, though? Worth a damn?
I didn't really play a whole lot since
That's good.
Turned into an all-day affair.
Then you did not lose your ass.
This is true. I mean, I might have yesterday. I might have at the casino on Saturday, but that's
I asked about DFS. I didn't ask about casino bankroll. So
usually they're separate. Usually I do a pretty good job keeping them separate.
We should. Because I got to tell you, if I took my DraftKings bankroll to the casino and played blackjack, craps, all that stuff, you wouldn't see me on DraftKings for very long. There'd be no bankroll. We're not in the habit of beating the house unless we go play poker. So,
I mean, I was playing poker. It was not
your day.
Not a good day.
It's like it. Man, we've all had those. For anybody that pays any attention to Razzle or myself on YouTube or Twitter or any of that, I've branded the moniker Poker Caddy for myself on Twitter so that I can start a vlog here in the fall where I'm going to combine golf scoring, since we're talking about golf with poker. And the idea behind that is, instead of paying attention to the money, I usually win or lose somewhere within about $150 when I play poker in a session, because I play for like 3 hours, not really long sessions. If I win more than that, it's a birdie. If I lose more than that, it's a bogey, and then double bogey for 300 or 350. If I hit some kind of high hand bonus or something like that, we'll call it a hole in one. If I lose my stop loss, which is 2 buy-ins in 3 hours, and I have to leave the casino and go home, I'm going to call that like a snowman or a 10 or something like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to add this up arbitrarily and see if we can break par over 18 holes or 18 sessions of golf. I think it's an interesting way to combine the two. So hopefully people would be interested in something like that. And we can start building this poker community we've been talking about for almost a year. So we'll see. But that obviously is not on the topic for today. Today's topic is baseball. So we need to probably get moving there. Are there any tornado warnings anywhere in the nation that you're going to have to deal with on your slate? It doesn't look like it.
Not that I'm aware of. I was going to respond to Chris in chat. Like, Chris, I'm up in Oshkosh, so I'm, an hour and a half north of you. And that's where I got hit with all that weather. We didn't get 14 inches of rain like Milwaukee. Milwaukee flooding on the highways even. Like, It was ridiculous. But, yeah, we got hit. Surprisingly, that same storm grouping, even though it broke up kind of between Milwaukee and Oshkosh, definitely hit us too.
That is a bummer. And I've seen the footage from the streets, and somebody had the audacity to show a sewer lid blowing in St. Louis because we got like 1.5 inches of rain. I was like, guys, that's just bad form. There's people actually going through shit right now that's not comparable. Knock it off.
Yeah. And it sounds like Nebraska the same day got hit with some tornadoes.
Yeah.
Some of the guys I watch on YouTube had their area hit for the second time in 3 years or something. And Saturday would definitely hit a bunch of different areas.
Sure did. We did get rained out of our barbecue on Sunday, but we made do. We made it work. KFC for everybody. Looks like we just got minimal in-game risks, no PPD risks to really speak of this week or, this slate. So we should just move past that. Quick chalk check. It looks like Crochet, Yamamoto, and Eovaldi on DraftKings. I don't know which one of those 3 guys is the leader in the clubhouse on FanDuel. Do you?
No, I would guess Crochet would be, but I haven't looked at pricing at all, so I could not tell you.
Whoever it is, that's going to be your guy in cash games on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it looks like it's 2 of the 3. Which of these 2 would you take for a cash game on DraftKings? And then where would your pivots go to from there, either using Carnage Report or your own research or whatever you're feeling?
I think the play is Crochet and Logan Webb.
Okay.
Webb gets you a little savings off of Eovaldi and Yamamoto for virtually the same kind of projection, just at, 40% of the ownership. So that's one thing I would do even in cash. I just don't think Yamamoto is safe in cash. He's just shown,
I agree, some
rough spots. I think Eovaldi's fine. He's throwing the ball ridiculously well. I just don't know if you need to pay $500 more for him, because that $500 probably helps in some bats.
Dodgers are notorious for quick hooks on their pitchers too.
Yeah.
So you never know if you're going to get 6. I mean, LA is nice facing, strikeout prone Angels, but quick hook. I
mean, I'm big on Will Warren. He's just not cash safe. So Like I think some people might consider him. I would not be shocked if some people use Chris Paddock in cash, thinking that they can just punt SP2 against the White Sox. I don't like it.
Well, I would like to say those guys are doing it wrong.
But
I'd like to say those guys are your edge. If you find that, write his name down and target him in head-to-heads tomorrow.
The reason why you can get away with going Crochet and any of the other guys that are $9,700 plus is the fact that you have cheaper Brewers, you have cheaper Cardinals bats in plus spots, you have cheaper Detroit Tiger bats in plus spots as well. So like there's a way to get a cash lineup with two expensive pitchers plus one spend up. Yeah, Max, Tattoo and I joked about the Adele late inning home run on Friday after we talked crap about him. But I did say that if he does make contact, it's probably a home run. But
always happens. You bash a guy and he hits one out.
Basically it.
That's how that works. Who are your favorite tournament pivots then? If these are like the little cash guys and you're kind of bouncing around between a couple of them, who are the guys that you're going to lean on? Are you still going to roster a ton of Crochet in tournaments, or are you getting off of him for leverage sake?
No, I mean I'm still going overweight on all four of those guys at the top.
Okay.
The expensive guys. I'm just pushing, I guess, the ownership from all the other guys into guys like Will Warren, Jeffrey Springs, Paddock, Yu Darvish, and even a little bit of Ryan Nelson.
Oh.
Nelson's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do like a couple of Texas bats, but still Texas offense hasn't been. So, it's just, I guess some of my ownership from those main three gets pushed onto Logan Webb. Because Logan Webb's the guy that I'm jumping the most in ownership. Like, I'm pretty much doubling the field right now. But he and Will Warren are the two guys that I'm higher on than the field by the looks of things.
What do you make of this? I'm looking at Springs on the Carnage Report. He's 9,500 on FanDuel and he's 6,900 on DraftKings.
He can't be used at all on FanDuel, if you ask me, at that price.
I mean, that is a big discrepancy.
Like, I'd much rather be down to Will Warren on FanDuel. But Springs is one of those guys, like, he's just in a bad ballpark, but he has a plus matchup. He gives up home runs, but it's a plus spot against Tampa Bay.
Right.
So he's somebody I wanted to use, but there's so much volatility to it that I'm also stacking Tampa Bay.
You would use him in a tournament, though, just not on FanDuel.
Yeah, to me, he just can't be used on FanDuel at that price. I will find a way to find $700 for Logan Webb or $800 for Yamamoto. Right. I mean,
but you can
plus
see
FanDuel just traditionally, like, you can live at the most expensive starting pitchers and still build.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Now I just saw how much Max said he turned his 3-leg parlay into. And that's a big return for $10.
Yeah, it is. Good Lord.
Good boosted one, but
I saw Pick Six or somebody bragged about one themselves that was, I think it was $1 into something, whatever it was. It was an ROI that was kind of similar to that. I don't think it's you, Max, but maybe it is. Nice score. Shit. Talk to your accountant. You're going to need to set some of that shit aside.
Not if you lose it all back.
Well, I don't recommend that. then Max would know. But I will say this, Max, if you're not a VIP, it's time. It's just, pay for itself for quite a while. It is time to use that coupon code and get in here. And if you are already in here, then you've paid for membership for a while. So that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. It's a big number. Big number.
I mean, 448 to 1 is a pretty big number.
Yeah, it is. That is insane. I'm looking at the K scores. I see Yamamoto at 600, and then a couple of the iffy guys down there at 500 plus. The Crochet Evaldi are up near 500. I don't know how much I trust Yamamoto. I can see him if he's on, then I can see him, striking out a ton. But LA hits a couple of them out, makes some contact with them, and short night for him. I don't know where to go with that one. So,
I mean, he has the most elite K upside
for sure. But is he the most likely to nut the slate?
I think he might be.
Okay.
Which feels weird, like from a nut, like ceiling standpoint, most likely.
Right.
But he's probably the most likely spend up to tank the build.
But yeah. Well. But again, if you're playing GPP, let's say you're playing a single entry like the stolen base on FanDuel, or you're playing, solo shot or whatever out on DraftKings, you absolutely include him because those things are so top heavy these days. You don't give a shit.
Right.
If he messes up, he messes up. Okay, my night's over. But if he has a good night, you might, I know he's a little chalky, but you might catch him with some little bit better stack somewhere or something like that kind of differentiates you from all the other Yamamoto owners. And he could turn in, he could hit another parlay for Max. He could turn that kind of ROI. You see anybody else on here that you really, really like? I mean, in fact, we should probably shift more towards who you're targeting, because there's a lot of red on that WOBA and ISO against for some of these pitchers, like Michaelis at almost 300. Heaney on how small a sample size is Heaney? I haven't heard his name much this year, but he is a god-awful target for Milwaukee tonight.
I mean, Heaney's bad. He's just been bad for a month and a half or 2 months. Like, started out the season a lot stronger than you might think. But then it's just completely fallen off. Plus, I'm just not. I've been trying to pick up Milwaukee with strong left-handed pitchers, and it hasn't worked. So I'm not going to do it with somebody who's terrible.
Right.
At this point,
I'm just trying to look. I mean, I'm just trying to wrap my head around. I don't know if that's a small sample size or, like you said, I mean, has he been throwing all year? Is this 2025 numbers? Are we talking about?
That should be all year.
15 starts or something like. How's he still in the rotation?
I mean, it's Pittsburgh. They don't have anybody.
Yeah, it's awful.
I think they're probably going to hope that they get traded him at the deadline, to pick up some flyer prospect. But
I wouldn't buy that with a bag of donuts.
I mean, he just fell off. But you look at the first month and a half of the season, he actually looked like somebody that they were going to be able to flip for something. And then since then, it's just been straight downhill.
Yeah, yikes. Well, man, now I don't feel so bad when I did an early run of the domination station today and was like, what the hell is it stacking Milwaukee for? Now I can kind of see it. So that was just as a default run. But who else are you targeting on this? Are you trying to attack somebody? Would you also attack Paddock or something? Like use him a little bit and attack him some?
I mean, I definitely would use some White Sox bats. I'm attacking Papio and Springs, but both guys I'm using in my pitcher pool as well. I wanted to use Zebby Matthews a little bit, but I don't think he made my final pool. But I am attacking him with the Yankees bats. The Yankees are kind of popular, which surprises me a little bit considering they've been struggling so much. Doesn't quite make sense to me. But
brand name.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely brand name plus then facing a pitcher that the average person hasn't heard of. But Matthews has K upside from a GPP standpoint.
Sure, he does. You see it right there on the Carnes report.
He might not have ended up in my pool. I don't remember it exactly. I should probably look. He didn't end up, but that's because I have 10 guys already that I'm using. So
why don't you quickly run down that pool, that 10 names, and then we'll just assume everybody else is a target in some shape or form.
Then
we'll talk stacks.
The obvious is the 4 guys at the top, who I think all are probably, I mean, Yamamoto not really cash viable. The other three for sure are to me. But then like Pepio and Springs in that game, which we expect some offense. But Pepio's been such a reverse splits guy that I think he can do enough from a K standpoint. Springs, we're just attacking Tampa Bay with a lefty, and hopefully it works out. I know his DFS Army grade rate's pretty high. Then I'm using Ryan Nelson. Don't feel super confident about it, but I can double the field at 10% and be okay. Yu Darvish in that San Francisco game against Webb in the ballpark that I love taking pitching in San Francisco.
For sure.
Darvish had one really strong performance in his return. Some not so good ones, obviously, but Paddock, like I mentioned, and then Will Warren is the guy that I want to use a lot of. Minnesota hadn't been really striking out until, was it yesterday or the day before? All of a sudden they struck out a bunch, and it's a younger team. I know Buxton's back, but Warren has dominated against right-handed bats. Been lefties that have hurt him, and the Twins are without Wallner yet because he put on the paternity list. So, like, I think the lineup could be weak enough for Warren. So he's a guy that I'm definitely heaviest on. Heavy-ish, not the heaviest, but like I mentioned, he and Webb are the two guys that I'm considerably over the field on right now.
Okay. Let's pivot to stacks. How many tier 1, tier 2 teams do you have?
Two tier 1
boys.
2 tier 1, 3 tier 2s.
So just 2 and 3. Well, dive in, boys. I'm just going to straight up ask him on the first question, since that's where we should probably start. Where do you have Milwaukee? Are they tier 1 or 2?
Milwaukee is tier 1. When I made my tiers earlier, Milwaukee's ownership was a little lower. I just went back into the leverage stacks now and see that they are the number 1 in ownership. But at 68%, I talk about it all the time, 9 players, 68%, like, you're looking at 7.5% owned for a player. That's not chalk to me at all. So 68% isn't that big of a deal, but they did jump because I think when I first made my list, they were around 51%. So a 17% jump, I guess, can be considerable. It's 2% per player. So that can make a difference. But also it makes sense that their ownership is that high because they can fit with 2 stud SPs on DraftKings. Pricing wise, Andrew Vaughn's been hot and he's still mid 3Ks. Isaac Collins is cheap enough. Joey Ortiz, a big BVP guy, is a punt because he's terrible in general, but he's like 3 for 5 with 3 home runs against Haney. Blake Perkins, if he's in it, it's cheap enough. Like, for an offense that's playing the way that Milwaukee is, they're just cheap. You obviously see their average salary on the left side of the screen. Like,
bright green.
They're just slightly more expensive than even St. Louis. I mean, St. Louis is cheap too, but like their offense is considerably better than St. Louis's. So, paying the same price for Milwaukee as, like, you scroll down, like, Washington. Of course, it makes a ton of sense to me to be on Milwaukee.
Sure. Well, it's funny. You mentioned Andrew Vaughn. He was one of the non-negotiables today. When I run non-negotiables for DS, I just get in there when ownership drops, knock out about 3 or 4 uniques, so it really forces the lineup to change out whoever it wants, and then whoever ends up there at 100% amidst swapping all those names in and out is just who the DS really, really likes, and that's who I'm calling the non-negotiables for, tournament building as an optimizer type of core, and it loved Vaughn today for sure. So it kind of lands on some interesting picks when I do that. It's kind of fun to point out to people on a daily basis. Any of you guys got other guesses in terms of who might also be in tier 1 or tier 2? Because you mentioned some of the cheaper ones down there before that you might pair up with some of that pitching, but I'm wondering about some of the expensive guys too in terms of a tier 1 type of matchup. Let's see. If I scroll down the list, hopefully we don't get too far down there. This is all organized by implied run total. You can look at ownerships are correlating pretty highly with IRT today, outside of the athletics that are up there. They might be somebody that you use in one of your tiers. Harlock wants the Tigers. Where'd the Tigers land?
They landed in tier 3.
Tier 3.
They almost made tier 2. It's the issue for me is their lineup, and if the White Sox go with Tyler Alexander as the long man, they could pinch hit early on. Like they have Kerry Carpenter in the lineup to begin with, and normally they pinch hit him against left-handed pitching. So there are a couple guys who might disappear, and that takes away from the stack quite a bit. So it becomes super hard to trust. Now, I think they'd probably be smart enough where they're not going to do something like that, but it's still possible.
Man, you never know with these guys that lean on the numbers so heavily.
Right. Plus, Carpenter's DHing. So, like, that also then kind of limits – like, they can't really use Colt Keith then because they might want to use him later when a righty comes back in. Like, they just have some things that kind of handcuff what they can do from what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at team-wise. So, plus Riley Green's just been striking out a ton. Like, I like Detroit, but there's so many questions for me. And that opener long man thing kind of annoys me just because it doesn't mean he's coming in immediately either. So it almost just becomes like a bullpen game. And when teams go with true bullpen games, I don't like to stack them.
Sure.
Because the manager gets to dictate matchups even more.
Right.
So if I knew for sure Alexander was coming in inning 2 and that's it, then I feel a little better, but still, I just don't like the potential of losing Kerry Carpenter because he's somebody you want in your Detroit stacks, generally when he's in the lineup.
Where'd Boston fall? Long wants to know. Boston, did they make your list? Doesn't look like they came off the top of your head there, so I doubt they're tier 1 or 2.
They're tier 3.
Okay.
I just don't really know what to expect out of Javier. His rehab starts kind of lean towards I should play more Boston. But some guys, when they get back up into the minors, like they kind of cruise in rehab, especially from Tommy John and stuff. Like it's just what matters is pitch count and length, etc., not necessarily results. And then all of a sudden they kind of show back up when they're at the major league level. So in that scenario, I'm kind of more wait and see. But they did make, tier 3. But
who else has guesses? It sounds like it's my turn to throw one out there. I want to know where the Yankees are. So I'm curious if you put the Yankees in tier 1 or 2.
Tier 2.
Tier 2.
They almost moved to tier 3. But they rate so strongly in the leverage rankings, despite being, one of the 5 most owned, quote unquote. And when I made the sheet, they were actually the highest owned. They kind of dropped a little bit while Milwaukee jumped up. But I feel gross because I just don't. The offense isn't clicking, so I kind of want to not be that heavy on them. But to me, there's a lot of teams that looked more like tier 3 than anything today. So I kind of had to add teams to my tier 3 to make my full 12. Some teams that are questionable.
So that runs my mind right off the rails and makes me wonder if you don't really see that many teams that are in great spots to just full on stack the crap out of. would today be a day where you would back it down and kind of use more mini stack, or you just, I know you're always 5x2, but would today be a little bit more reasonable that if I just don't see a team blowing up and going nuts, maybe it'd be a team, maybe take 3 teams in some mini stacks instead of 1 team and full on stack them? Is that viable today, or do you think we're still just almost always going to see a 5 stack win the tournaments?
I mean, on a 10-game slate, I think we're always seeing a 5-man, do it. So for me today, it's just me sticking to my same percentage breakdowns. So I force 12 teams in, which obviously could fail me quite a bit, but I've been using the strategy for multiple years now, and
sure,
I don't really have a reason to not do it. So rather than cutting down, I just made sure I included, I don't know, I'll give 2 away at Washington and Texas. I included them.
Into your tier 3 stuff?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. I don't feel like I would be doing my job if I didn't ask the questions that pop into my head in terms of slate specific type of stuff, because I know, stacking's great and it works and everybody should be doing it, but at the same time, there are some times where rules are made to be broken, and I just want, when I hear balanced scoring, or not really that's what you said, but I hear not really excited about a handful of teams, I had to force some teams in. That kind of tells me that, well, maybe today is a day where we don't get super excited about stacks and we do something a little bit different. But can't go wrong if you just shut your eyes and trust the process either. That's the whole point as well. All right, I'm just going to go down the list. Where's St. Louis fall?
Tier 1.
No way. I would not have had that.
I am picking on Chase Dollander. He's giving up a ton of home runs, 15 of them in like 66 or 68 major league innings. I think there was, the fact that it's going to be 90 degrees, slight wind blowing out. It's still it's just hitting weather. And Dollander is hit by both sides of the plate. So it's not like he's just being crushed by only lefties or righties. Usually when those splits happen, I tend to look at lineups and I might drop a team down just because it's tough for St. Louis with their righties to crush a right-handed pitcher or something. So, but St. Louis made it up because Jordan Walker looks like an actual major league hitter right now, and Nolan Gorman's one of my favorite BPP bats on the slate. And then, you have Contreras. Burleson always just shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Newt Bar should at some point get hot, I would expect.
You'd hope.
But I think he's back to the leadoff spot today, too.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter. He's leading off.
So, I'm kind of eating that. They're popular, but they still end up in the top 5 in leverage stack rankings.
Yeah, I just didn't see you going in on them. So we've got those top 4 teams. Where do you have the Athletics?
Oh, I just realized Jordan Walker's not even in the lineup. That's dumb.
That's Ollie for you.
The A's are tier 2.
Tier 2 for the A's.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. Those guys have power and whatnot. Those guys can turn the lineup over a few times.
They probably could have been tier 1 if they weren't facing a guy like Pepiot, who's extreme reverse splits. So the A's left-handed bats are neutralized a little bit, in Kurtz, Bleday, Soderstrom, etc. So it does hurt them a little bit, Lawrence Butler, I think. But they're still playing in the ballpark that I love, and Pepiot does give up home runs.
So we've got 1 team left in tier 1 or 2. The rest are tier 3 or not on the list. Give me the White Sox.
White Sox did not make any tier.
You kind of said, I'd be okay with some White Sox earlier. I thought, man, that'd be sneaky. I don't think it's Kansas City. Is it the Dodgers?
The Dodgers are in tier 2.
Yeah, I had to get the White Sox out before I went back to something I actually believed in.
No, the Dodgers could have easily been tier 1, over St. Louis, but they are expensive. I do love the top 4 price pitchers so much and plan to be super heavy on them that I think it probably would have messed with some of my hitting percentages if I made the Dodgers a tier 1 team based on how I do things. Might struggle getting to my pitcher numbers. But Ohtani and Muncy are 2 of the best bats on this slate.
Yeah,
the problem is Muncy plays the same position as 2 of my other favorite bats in Nolan Gorman and then Junior Caminero.
Would you take Nolan Gorman over Muncy?
No, I think I lean Muncy. I think I have Muncy as a core, actually.
I mean, Gorman's very boom or bust, but he's Muncy can pop out a couple.
I actually have Gorman as a core over, so I guess I am taking Gorman. Couldn't remember how he did it because, those 3 third basemen with Caminero are guys that I absolutely love. So, I want to be, 15 to 18% of each of those guys.
Okay. I saw some guys earlier today in Jock Peterson at 2,100. Gorman is cheap. Somebody else that I saw in there kind of in that same feels like very boom or bust frame, and they were recommending them for the optimal lineups in Domination Station. I was like, man, those aren't cash safe picks, but Jock Peterson, I kind of get it for 2,100, but I mean, he just doesn't feel like he's anything.
He's hot right now. He's 4 for his last 6 with 2 home runs and a double. Well,
then that would change that mind. I didn't see him in the L7 stats in the research station as popping that kind of OPS or ISO or any of that, but not that I looked. I just didn't notice. I just saw it and was like, that's not a guy I would pick in cash. He was kind of like the old who was the guy? He was also in Texas, I believe. Oh, back in the day, Joey Gallo. There's another one where I was like, that's a very anti-definition of a cash game player, but yet when he got hot, baseball, he's cash viable. So
yeah,
because you just count on him hitting 6 home runs in a week and a half or something. It's like you just play him every day and take what you get out of him. Tattoo had some dong calls. Why don't you run through some of yours? I'll throw his up on the screen.
All right, let's head to my sheets here.
Call it a day.
I like Shea Langoliers since Pepio's a reverse splits guy. Even though I did see a graphic that Langoliers is one of the luckiest home run hitters this season compared to expected. The luckiest being Cal Raleigh, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
That is surprising because he was doing damage last year too, so you would think it's gone beyond fluke territory.
I think his difference is about 8.5 home runs.
Wow.
Cal Raleigh. I think Langoliers is 6 or 7. There some sizable differences on the guys that are over expectation. Under expectation is only 3 or something for the highest ones, 3.5. But
sure. Well, I mean, even I'm under expectation. So
I love Josh Bell.
Old name.
That's a BVP plus he's hot combination, an OPS over 1,300 over the last week, and then he's 5 for 9 with 2 home runs against Falter. So that combination, then the 3 third basemen I talked about, Gorman,
sure,
Caminero, and Muncy. Muncy's probably the hottest of the 3. Gorman has the best home run matchup of the 3. Caminero plays in the best ballpark of the 3 tonight. So, there's arguments for all 3 of those guys. Right. Javi Baez, sneaky guy.
That is sneaky. If he gets the bat from the senior tees.
Yeah. He's had success against Tyler Alexander, so they do go with Alexander as the long man. Trevor Larnach, Yankee Stadium, a lefty against Will Warren. It's intriguing to me. One dart BVP that's very interesting, plus the last week as well to match the Josh Bell. Michael A. Taylor, 3 for 6 with a home run against Paddock, and he's 6 for 16 with 3 home runs over his last 5 games.
That's when the stars line up.
So yeah, like he and Josh Bell are those. Am I really going 4x the field kind of plays? But yes, I am.
Those are my favorites too. When the guy has history against a pitcher and is swinging a hot bat, I mean, man, that just lines everything up. And I remember times when I've done this and I go looking through all the recency numbers and the BVP and everything, and I'm putting together a lineup. And I'm like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, he didn't make a lineup today. What the hell is that manager looking at?
Yeah, so you really find out which managers pay attention to trends and splits and which don't.
Yeah, it makes me laugh when I see it. I'm like, you got to be kidding! How you not hit this guy today?
Because a lot of off days are predetermined these days.
Yep.
You know, they're thinking, weeks ahead of time to plan everything out. But still, to rest some guys in situations where they've absolutely crushed, it's just weird, especially when they're hot, but also when they're ice cold too. Like it's a chance to wake their bat up a little bit.
For sure.
So you want them in the lineup in that matchup.
It's a get right spot for sure. It can be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I don't know the mentality of a baseball player. Well, I don't want to make it sound worse than it is to say that they're fragile, but a lot of baseball players are very superstitious and they're very momentum driven and they're very, they kind of do some crazy things to get themselves going again or not or whatever. That stuff's all well documented across history. But when I go up against a guy that I've smashed and I'm trying to slump bust, oh my God, and I go 0 for 4 or something like that, that's going to make me feel worse about myself too. So it's going to have the opposite effect.
Yeah. I mean, that's also one where you get mad at the manager when you're not in the lineup for that spot too.
Oh, dude, because believe me, they know their numbers.
Yeah.
They know who they hit the shit out of.
Hitters know, pitchers know.
Yeah.
That's why BVP is a real thing. I know him.
Guy walks into the batter's box, that pitcher goes, "Oh, this guy."
Yeah. Internally, like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do here now?
Yeah. I threw him this.
It's a legit thing.
Yeah.
Like coming from me, who was on both sides of the scenario as a pitcher and as a hitter.
Yeah.
Like I know it's real. Having spoken to Trevor May as a pitcher, he knew exactly who owned him.
For sure.
Miguel Cabrera,
and they know who owned them in the minors and are in the majors now too.
Yeah, and then Vernon Wells talked about it at a DK basketball live final about how they know who they own as a hitter, and they look forward to stepping in the plate against those guys again.
For sure, I remember when he was doing color commentary, Jim Edmonds would talk about his days a lot, and he would always tell you who he smashed.
Yeah, that's why the spreadsheet guys that tell you that BVP isn't real, who have never played the game, don't understand that it's actually real. When you talk to the actual players that have experienced it, they all know it. So
for sure. I mean, it doesn't always pan out on the nights that we put our money on it, but
but it has a higher likelihood of.
Correct, but it is a thing. Well, the same thing. I was telling somebody earlier today, and then we can get ready to get out of here. But I was telling somebody earlier today that you're playing in a tournament with 50 people in it. You've got a 1 in 50 chance at winning the tournament if there's no edge on anybody. If you've got a great edge over the field, you might have tripled the edge. You might be 3 out of 50 chance to win that tournament. That doesn't seem like much because it's only 3 times out of 50. But dude, that's a lot. It's triple anybody else. And I mean, and then that obviously would naturally push somebody down to where they don't even have a 1 in 50 chance. They've got more like a half, and they're going to win 1 out of 100 instead of 1 out of 50, and that guy can't win money. So it's funny how these things work out.
Right. I mean, that's exactly why we're MMEing too, right? We're
Correct.
trying to give ourselves a slightly better chance compared to the average. That's the same instance with that BVP. If it triples your chances of coming through with that choice, and if it moves it from a 0.5 to 1.5, like, you take that and you run with it.
For sure.
Because we want those slight edges.
And you hope that over time, the long run does what the long run is supposed to do.
Right.
And
over time, yeah,
it's not going to come in for months and months and months or a couple of years, and then bang, you're going to pop something for 50K, and that's going to pay off all the times that you missed, and it's going to translate to the same, whatever it is, $200 a month or whatever that everybody, profits kind of over the long run or whatever. And I'm making these numbers up in my head, but if the average is out to $200 a month, but it happens with a whole bunch of losing and then one $50,000 win, it's still $200 a month. You just have to have the bankroll and the mindset to keep going, and just know that eventually your day's coming, and it's going to come more often than the other guy. That's how this game works.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, you say that, and you didn't know this, but my 50K was won because of a huge BVP spot.
Oh, okay.
Brian Hayes was a one-off in that build that won me 50K, and he had huge BVP against. I can't remember off the top of my head. I should look back, but he homered in that game.
There you go.
Chas McCormick had BVP in his favor in that lineup. He was a one-off, and he homered, not off of that pitcher. And I got lucky because that season in 2023, that was the only home run hit on a fastball over 100 miles an hour. Happened to be Chas McCormick that day.
In the day you had him in your
but it's just like, I mean, those two guys were only in the lineup or in my build as one-offs because of BVP. They weren't popular plays at all. And I don't win 50K that day if both of them don't home run.
Correct. And you know what? And you laughed all the way to the bank.
This is true. I definitely did.
I will tell Max, who just commented he lost $200 over the last 2 years on FanDuel, and I will say that compared to many other people out there in the world, that's really good. There's a lot of people that have lost a lot more than that. So that's actually a good thing. And if you stay within, I don't know, bankroll management, it gets a little bit of a misnomer, because if you don't have an edge and you're not beating the games, then bankroll management doesn't do anything other than just kind of slow the bleed. But if you do beat the games, or if you're very close to breaking even, bankroll management is paramount. Keeps you in the game long enough to hit that day when you turn $10 into 4,400, or whatever the heck it is that you're out there doing in whatever sub niche of this DFS world that we're playing. And that's basically how the West was won. I mean, it's not rocket science. You just hitch your wagon to people like Razzle, and hopefully people like myself or Tattoo or other guys that are in DFS, or even members. We've got some very, very sharp members that can really, really help people as well. That's why that community is so important. So I would encourage anybody watching today to get in here on that 50% off your first month coupon code, and start talking to the guys. You will find your people, you'll find your contests, you'll find your sports, you'll find your thing. And if Razzle and I are your best friends, great. And if not, you'll find somebody, I guarantee it. You got any other final words for everybody tonight other than go win a lot of money?
I do not. I am going to go get changed and ready for the city championship.
Nice. Well, good luck to you, bud. Good luck to you. Hope you 10 run them.
That's the goal. Every game.
10 run in the third. Be done with it. Just end it and go drink some beer.
That's basically it.
As for everybody else, we'll wish Razzle good luck, and we'll go start drinking a beer early. So we'll watch that baseball, and hopefully we see you guys winning. I hope you guys are bragging in the winning lineups room inside Discord, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. See you, everybody. Take care. Razzle, take care, buddy.
See ya.